Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing? It's me, it's Dave. It's Thursday, it's 2:30. It's time for a little bit of yoga. I'm glad you can join me. Let me just do a couple of things, actually. I've just got my screen on a slightly different setting, so feel free to comment. I'll be more than happy to say hi if you say hi. Make this as kind of interactive as we can. The medium of the internet, right, where we do online classes, I think it can be really powerful. So we thank the Virtual Village Hall for providing all of this content, the yoga, the Pilates, the HIIT stuff that you do. There's so much stuff on here, right? Lots of creative classes that is going on as well. And remember, you can follow these guys. Most people will follow via Facebook, or you'll connect via Facebook. Remember, you can follow these guys via Instagram, right? So try that out. And also TikTok. The Virtual Village Hall have Instagram and also TikTok accounts. So give them a follow if you're on those platforms. The more people that follow them, the more people that know about the Virtual Village Hall, and the more people get to benefit from these classes. So yeah, go for it. Please share, and that's the way that we get the word out. And we've been going now for, what was this, the 178th yoga class that we've done. So it's a lot, right? Isn't that a lot of yoga classes from me? Not all of them from me, but probably 160 of them have been from me. Thanks for coming. I'm going to go back onto my mat. I'm at the Space to Breathe Collective today. This is a yoga cooperative in the centre of Leicester in the sunny East Midlands. So if you're ever in the East Midlands, give us a little shout. Come and see us. All right, let me do this. I'm going to move back. I think that looks all right. My mat's not quite in the centre, right? But I can do a little bit of adjusting. So adjust anything that you need to adjust. We're going to start today seated. And look, I've got all sorts of stuff with me today. I've got this beautiful fleece blanket, which I'm going to use. I'm going to use a bolster. So what I would say is find a comfortable seat. I'm going to sit like this because it feels good. But sit cross-legged or sit in a chair, anything that feels good for you. And then we'll probably spend a little bit of time here at the start. What I'd like to do is just a little bit of breath work, but something really gentle. So more of a meditation. Probably we'll just kind of do a little scan of the body as we do that. So to do it, you want to be comfortable, all right? So any way that you can feel comfortable. Make sure you're warm enough as well, right? It's not too cold at the moment, is it? Well, it's not here in Leicester anyway, but make sure that you're warm enough. You want to be calming your system down here instead of kind of feeling cold or feeling too warm. Probably not too warm, right? But you probably feel a little bit too cold in the autumn. So make sure you're wrapped up. Okay, we're not going to move a lot here at the start. Find somewhere for your hands, draw some length into your spine. Have a little wriggle around if that feels good. Maybe you kind of roll the shoulders. Maybe you give yourself a little stretch out. In fact, let's do that. Let's kind of just stretch the body out a little bit. Don't worry about what any of this looks like. Kind of just move a little side to side. Yeah, it feels good, right? Just stretching out in the afternoon, 2:30. This is usually the time where I feel a little bit, tired sometimes. So we'll kind of use this to get inside, right? And just check what's going on underneath the surface, and then we'll kind of energize ourselves in this very gentle way today. All right, let's come back to where we were. Bring the hands onto wherever the hands land, all right? All right, because we're all probably in different positions. Now, if it feels okay, look, I'm going to do this. I'm going to close my eyes, but you don't have to. Just find a comfortable posture. If that means eyes closed, great. If it doesn't, great. Just soften your gaze. And then what I'm going to do, I'm not on a timer today. I've got a big clock that you can't quite see. I'm not going to look at that. What I'd like you to do is just find that kind of connection underneath the surface, and what I'll do is I will stay quiet for a minute or so. So just take in anything that feels reasonable. Maybe just take 2 more rounds of breath. Maybe this final round of breath is an inhale through the nose. Maybe it's an exhale through the mouth. If you had your eyes closed, with your eyes open, bring your gaze up. Take an inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. Nice and slow. This time, clasp the hands, push the palms up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale here to lengthen, and then as you exhale, just bend over towards the right. Inhale to center, and then just a little bend over towards the left. And kind of just move in a way that feels good. Remember, there's no right and wrong way to do this. As long as you're not hurting yourself, right, you're in a good position. As I inhale, I lift and I try and relax my shoulders. As I exhale, I just find a bend into my side body. And that's all I'm doing, really. I'm not thinking about it too much. There might be a little movement through my head sometimes, the top arm. I'll kind of gaze beyond that armpit, that shoulder. That can feel quite nice and quite passive. Just a little side-to-side movement here. Beautiful, everyone. Really nice. Okay, inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, unclasp the hands and then just bring the arms all the way down, nice and slowly. The hands come down, they rest back onto wherever they land quite naturally. And then take another inhale here. And then take a full exhale. All right, I'd like us to come back to another short bit of breath work or just a little bit of grounding. But before that, let's just move a little bit more. So we'll do 2 things. So bring the arms out in line with your shoulders. In fact, you might look down the right arm and then slowly turn your head and look down the left arm. So you kind of want your arms to be somewhat in line. They don't have to be massively in line, right? This probably already feels quite physical because we don't generally hold our arms like this, right? So let's do it this way. Inhale, just rotate your torso. Think about your navel towards the right. So I'm thinking about here. I'm not really thinking about my arms too much. Inhale back to center. And then exhale over towards the left. Inhale to center, exhale to the right. Inhale to center, exhale to the left. And then you just get into your rhythm. Now, it doesn't actually matter whether you inhale or exhale to the side, but what I'd like to do is kind of breathe into and out of the posture. And your head will probably just move with the posture. I tend to just look down the arm and swoop towards the back. Now, a nice thing to do here is to close your eyes and really embody a whole motion of the posture. Now, it doesn't have to be too big, it doesn't have to be too slow. Just find a movement that feels good for you. Think about your navel and twist your torso from side to side. So we're freeing up the spine. We're bringing that energy into the body. A lot of energy kind of lies dormant in the hips. We're just kind of activating that energy. That's all we're doing. We're kind of paying attention. We're noticing that probably our arms are hurting now. Not hurting, it's the wrong word. Scrub that. Our arms are tired. A little bit of fatigue. Should never be any pain, so never push through that. Ignore what I said about hurt. All right, inhale, come back to center. Take a full exhale, keep the arms lifted. Now really think about how the arms feel, or should I say feel into the arms, really feel into the arms, maybe stretch a little further away from each other, then exhale, bring the hands down. Oh, that feels good in the shoulders, right? Now just pause, bring the palms so they face up, wherever they've landed, and then come back to that stillness where we started the class. Just check in. Notice what you're noticing. Maybe it's the physical sensations of that last posture. And for me, when I kind of sit like this and pay attention, then this is where I can find sometimes, not always, like a level of peace. And you could call it tranquility, like a kind of, I just drop out of my mind a little bit. And I feel the energy in the body that I'm creating through these movements. And I know that everything's okay. Even if it's just for this 40 minutes or so, I know that I've got everything that I need here. If your eyes are closed, come with your eyes open. Give your shoulders a little kind of shake, a little shrug. Kind of just roll them. Worry about what this looks like. Maybe you kind of roll them at the same time, roll them back. You can kind of shrug the shoulders up, drop them down. You can do one shoulder at a time. Kind of just move through some shoulder shrugs. Anything that feels good. It's nice, right? You know, when we drop in and we kind of go a little bit deeper and we get out of the head and it comes from more of like how we think all the time. Like we're always thinking, probably overthinking so many things, thinking too much about the future, too much about the past, catastrophizing. You know, we get into those patterns. And when we're practicing yoga, we can just keep dropping in, keep coming back to our center. Because here, underneath all the stuff that's going on, there's always a peace, right? Always, there's always this stillness. So let's just drop back in there. And I'll do a little guided body scan. So however you're sat, maybe it's the soles of the feet on the floor, maybe it's the tops of the feet pressing down into the earth like I'm sat. If it feels okay, reclose the eyes or soften your gaze. And feel the felt sense of your body. You know, whatever surface it's on at the moment. Maybe you feel the tops of your feet, or it could be the soles of your feet. See if you can relax. And then move up through the ankles and the calves, into the knees. Maybe the backs of the knees. Kind of feel the space in between your knee joints. And then up into your thighs. Think about your hips, the sit bones. See if you can linger there a little longer. See if you can just think about space within that part of your body. The lower spine. Maybe sit a little taller. Maybe draw a little bit more length into your spine. And then up through your mid-spine and your upper spine. Your chest, you know, the whole of your torso. Your shoulders, where we've worked a little bit already. And then maybe think about the biceps and the triceps, the upper arms, your elbows, forearms, fingers, wrists. Yeah, think about space in between the joints of your wrists. And then the crown of your head, your cheeks, kind of the jawline, your eyes, the skin around your eyes, your throat, your neck. And as you do this, just watch your breath. And your breath is just gently flowing in and flowing out. Kind of use a beautiful releasing breath. So on the exhale, it might be a sigh out through the mouth. See how you feel now. And feel is the word, right? You're feeling into your body. Maybe for the first time today, you kind of find that tension that feels a little magical, right? It feels like, I don't do this a lot. I don't give myself the opportunity to be still and just to check in. See if there's a level of quietness or peace, quietude. If you have your eyes closed, really gently and slowly. Blink your eyes open. Come back into the space that you find yourself in. We're going to come and stand in a moment. Let's just do a little bit of movement through the head. Because, you know, our head weighs about 5 kilograms, right? It's quite heavy. And the neck sometimes beautifully supports it, but sometimes we find a little bit of tension in the neck. So let's just kind of drop our chin down towards our sternum. How does that feel? You kind of let all of the skin on your face relax. Maybe a little gap in between the teeth. And then you can rock your head from side to side. I'm going to yawn. That's a good sign, right? Yawning's a really good sign. It means that you relax. Maybe just rock the chin a little from side to side. And then if you wanted to here, you can circle the head out. So pick a direction and draw circles with your head. Feels good, right? So you inhale the head up. Maybe you exhale as the chin just falls down towards your sternum. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Beautiful. And then maybe come back the other way. So drop the chin down and then just begin to circle the head in the opposite direction. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, inhale, bring the head all the way back. As you exhale, if the eyes are closed, come with the eyes open. Beautiful, really nice, everyone. All right, I keep saying one more posture, right? But I do want to stay here. So if you're sat, you're absolutely great where you're sat. If you're sat if you're seated, stay seated. You know, you might be on the chair. As long as you've got some room to kind of bring your arms out, then you're good. If you're like me, great. If you want to have a little move, go for it. If you sat cross-legged, maybe bring your legs out and just give your legs a little shake. I'm going to stay as I am because I feel pretty comfortable. I can feel my ankles tightening up a little bit, but I've got this blanket underneath my ankles, so I feel good. So give yourself this freedom to kind of move. I don't want to do any sun salutations today, and I don't want to do any downward facing dog. I just, I'm not feeling in the mood for that. We usually do that aspect of practice. So what I'd like to do today is kind of find the practice where, we're sat for periods of time, but then we kind of bring dynamic movements in. And dynamic movements are kind of not particularly excessive. You kind of find that the dynamic movement works for you, but you just move in with the breath. So the breath is sometimes a little bit powerful. And these are kind of designed to kind of shake us up a little bit, but only shake yourself up to the ability or the kind of the level that you need to shake yourself up to, right? Am I making sense? I hope so. So don't kind of like overdo it, that's what I'm saying. So we're going to do a couple of twists again. So we just did this one, right, where we kind of move the arms from side to side. And now we're going to do something a little easier, but it's a little bit more free. So it's more of a twist. So you bring your right hand on your heart, then bring your left arm out. So that's an inhale, because the left arm sweeps over to the left. As you exhale, swap it out. So the left hand on the heart, right hand comes over to the right. So inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. And then just kind of move. Now you might be able to hear my breath when I shut up. It's a little bit more powerful. So I'm breathing in and out through my nose. So feel free. Now, if your movement's like this, perfect. Absolutely beautiful. Kind of just twist. Think about your navel again. And you're just twisting side to side. If you want to kind of move a little quicker, then go for it. Let the head be nice and loose. Just go with the movement. I close my eyes. And I'm going to be quiet, apart from my breath. And then we'll check back in a moment. Inhale left, exhale right. Nice powerful breath if you can find it. Maybe like 4 or 5 more times either side. Inhale, come back to center, and then soften one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Take a full exhale. And I'd like you to take another inhale. So nice deep inhale. Maybe you're full it so far. But if it feels okay, just pause the breath. So feel the belly, it's expanding, resting in your hand, feel your heart. Maybe you feel it beat away. Kind of find that connection to your heart center. When you're ready, exhale through your mouth. Ready? One more like that. Nice deep inhale through your nose. Pause the breath, hold it, squeeze the belly up, squeeze the belly in. Feel right to your navel center. Draw the line up to your heart, to the crown of your head. Exhale, let the breath go. Do that one more time. Deep inhale through the nose. Pause the breath, squeeze the belly up, squeeze the belly in. Focus at the crown of the head. Exhale, let the breath go through the nose or the mouth. Beautiful. Bring the hands down, palms are face up, and then we just stay here again. Just pause. Again, notice what you're noticing. Check in. See how your practice feels. Beautiful. Really nice. All right. From here, I'm going to come to a cross-legged position. So if you're sat like me, you're sat on the chair, and you want to get on the floor, come down on the floor with me. If you're in a cross-legged position already, you might bring the legs out, and then you'll bring your shin in front. Okay. So just give me a moment. I've been sat there for over 20 minutes. So sat in one position as a 51-year-old man. It takes me a little bit of time to move. So bring the legs out, and then just drop the knees from side to side. See how that feels. Maybe bring the legs out and just roll the ankles. The floor's quite cold in here today. I've only got one little heater on, so. Nice. Maybe kind of flex, point the toes. Beautiful. Really nice. Come to sit, seated. Let's just move this bolster out of the way, bring it behind me. Doesn't matter which shin's in front. Bring the hand onto the knees. And then again, we're going to carry on with this kind of twisted motion. Hands on the knees, inhale the chest forward, exhale round. So you pick a direction, and then you just circle your torso out. Stay nice and relaxed with your jaw. Beautiful, everyone. Really nice. Get into that movement. Inhale, exhale here, exhale here. And remember, if your spine is feeling a little tight, a little tender, you're like this, right? You're just sitting tight, you're like high. If your spine is tight and you're thinking about your navel, and you just kind of, oh yeah, that movement from my navel, you can put your finger on your navel and you just kind of circle it out. Feels good. It's kind of, doesn't have to be big movements. If everything feels okay, I like to bend into my elbows a little bit, and this really frees up my spine. So you just rotate your torso around your hips. Find that movement. Stay super relaxed through your jaw. Be curious, don't overthink any of these postures. All we're doing here, right, is we're just moving energy in the body. We're kind of bringing that aliveness in. We spend so much time in static positions or in positions that the body really doesn't like. Too much time seated. Now, relaxation is super important, right? That's not to say that we shouldn't sit and we shouldn't be still, because there's a lot of gold in that. But sometimes, we're not moving our bodies in a way that feels, truly restorative. So it's a balance, right? Life is a balance. All right. Nice. Inhale, come back to center. Take a full exhale when the torso is nice and long, and then come back the other way. Now it's a new movement, right? Because you're moving in the opposite direction. So just see how that feels. Stay curious. Maybe close the eyes. I'll be quiet. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale, come back to center. Take a full exhale. Sit nice and tall without putting too much strain on your spine. One more like that. Deep inhale. And then a full exhale. All right, nice. Lean back into the hands. Separate your beautiful feet. Drop your knees to either side. Windscreen wiper motion. And as we move through the seasons, I was saying last week, we need different practices, right, at different times. It's not always going to be the same, but as we move, autumn and winter, I really like to practice with a little bit more comfort And sometimes my practices are a little bit more introspective, where I'm not moving as much, and I'm bringing those textures into my practice, you know, like warmth, blankets, pillows, more clothes. So as the man sat here in a t-shirt and shorts. I am a little bit chilly today, I must admit. All right, come back to center, maybe bring the other shin in front. Beautiful. We're going to twist, because that's what we've been doing today, right? Inhale, sweep the arms up, and then I'd like you to twist towards the right. So bring your left hand on your right knee, your right hand behind you. So left hand's on the right knee, right hand supports you. Inhale to find left, and exhale, twist towards the right. Breathe out. Nice deep inhale. Full exhales. I always say that you're never quite still, right? So every inhale you find a little bit of length. Every exhale you twist the spine. Come out, twist a little bit. Inhale, find length. Exhale. One more like that. Nice deep inhale. Take a full exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, shoot the arms all the way up. And then exhale, twist towards the left. I'm not actually laughing at anything in particular. I'm just enjoying my practice today. So even if you get like 10% of my enjoyment, that's good enough. It's nice, right? Just moving the body and the privilege of being able to move your body, even if you're working with things that don't work quite well, right? And the body's letting you down in a certain way. Just try and kind of focus on the stuff that you can do instead of the things that you can't do. It doesn't mean that you can't be frustrated. I get it. All right. 2 more rounds of breath. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Deepest inhale. And fullest exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, come back to center. And then inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. Press the palms up. And this time a seated cat-cow. Inhale here. Exhale, round the spine. Push the palms forward. Tuck the navel back towards the spine. All right, so imagine cat-cow on all fours. Inhale, come up. Exhale to round. You know, if you sat in the chair, you can still do this, right? So we just find the movements that feel reasonable. It doesn't mean that we always have to sit on the floor. It doesn't mean that it always has to be the same. We kind of started here, right, with a side-to-side movement. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Into the shoulder, kind of the mid-spine. The upper spine. You feel that round in the lower spine, right? Down towards the tail. Feels good, right? It's not too complicated. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. And then exhale, same thing. Comb the arms all the way down. Bring the hands down to the knees. Bring the palms of the face up. This time, maybe bring the thumb and the forefinger together. So you're like that, hopefully you can see. And then maybe just draw your attention inwards again. Notice what you're noticing. So with a considerable amount of postures we've done so far, now we get to check back in and just notice how you feel. A couple more rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, very gently, slowly, just blink your eyes open. Really nice. Let's swap the legs out. So have a quick look at your legs. If you sat cross-legged with me, have a look which shin's in front. Make a note. You're going to bring the other shin in front in a moment. Drop the knees either side. Really beautiful. Maybe 3 or 4 more times either side. I love this movement. Feels good. Get a little workout through the wrist as well because you're leaning back into the hands. So make sure you're spreading out for the fingers to protect your wrists. Make sure there's no strain. Come back to center. Oh, these blankets are beautiful. Oh, I'm going to do a little curl of my blanket as well, so I get even more warmth. All right, seated forward fold. So when we come into this, you can stay quite high, so you can be here, or maybe you call the fingertips forward and you round a little bit into the spine. So just be aware. Maybe 2 or 3 breaths where you sit high, maybe 3 or 4 breaths where we come down low. So inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, bring the hands down, press into the palms of your hands, and then this will give you a good idea. So the pelvis is now been to do this, right? It's rotating forwards. So you come off your sit bones just a little bit. In fact, you can kind of just shuffle forward. For me, I feel this quite a lot into the front of my hips, and then I feel my lower spine begin to stretch. So right now, this is great for me. That's enough of a stretch. I don't want to come any further, and I'm just going to move a little bit side to side. And I do realise I said we'd stand, but I'm not sure if we are going to stand now. Let's see. Now, if everything feels okay, and you want to drop a bit deeper, maybe you kind of round the spine a bit more. And, you know, if you've got something like a bolster or a cushion, you can always do this, right? And you kind of, me, can bring my head down, I can rest my hands on the bolster, whatever feels good for you. Breathe deeply here. So you kind of find this little protective cocoon, this little shape. And there's maybe a tiny little bit more effort on the breath because the diaphragm is a little bit squeezed here. So you wait for this. Now what I'd like you to do is just come back to seated. If this is where you are. Remember, you can do this on a chair. You can forward fold on a chair. Swap your legs out if you're with me. Reposition your spine. Don't just drop straight back in. And then maybe just bring the hands out. And then we'll just do this with the other leg in front. So depending on which leg is in front, that's probably where you feel it more into your hip. If you want to use cushions, a blanket, a bolster, bring your feet down. Let the head be nice and heavy. Just breathe it out. Take just a couple more rounds of breath. When you're ready, wherever you found yourself, push yourself all the way back up. Really gently, slowly. Oh, nice. Lean back into the hands again. If you're on a chair, just kind of bring your feet a little wider and you can just move a little side to side. Oh, free all that up. Notice what that feels like. Beautiful. Come back with your legs crossed or stay remaining in the chair. Now we just do a little lateral movement. So what I'd like you to do is bring your hands onto your shoulders. They're going to be fingertips at the front, little fingers, and then thumbs at the back. Okay. So you kind of have a look down your shoulders, make sure your elbows are in line. If that feels too much, do that. Kind of have a look, bend in the knees. Knees, they're elbows. Bending your elbows is cactus arms. All right. Take an inhale to center. And then exhale, just a little bend over towards the right. Inhale to center, and then exhale over towards the left. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then you just move in a motion that feels good for you. Again, a little bit like when we were moving at the start. I like to kind of just gaze up towards the ceiling, that top arm. Done a little bit of movement through the neck, so hopefully that feels okay. And then again, really feel into the body here. What do you feel as you move? I feel each of my ribs kind of move and my breath expand in between each of my ribs. If I close my eyes, I can kind of just imagine my rib cage. The intercostal muscles in between my ribs. Contracting, expanding. It's not about the depth, remember, it's just about the movement when you feel just that little box, that reasonable effort, and then you inhale and come all the way back. Feels good, right? I could do this for a long time today, it feels really beautiful. Let's do like 4 more either side. Final one. Inhale, come back to center, and then exhale, just bring the hands down. Realign your spine, maybe have a little wriggle through your hips, a little shake through your shoulders, make sure there's no tension, and then bring the palms up again. Again, if you want to do the thumb and the forefinger together, great, go for it. Maybe close your eyes and check in with your practice. Notice what you're noticing. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to come to lie down on our backs. So, well done. If you joined me and you were down on the floor for all that time, brilliant work. If you're in a chair, fantastic. Nothing standing today. Doesn't always have to be about downward facing dog and standing up. So come to lie down. If you've got extra clothes, put them on now, right? This is a really good time to put socks on. Maybe you have a blanket underneath your body, maybe you have a blanket above your body. And then place the soles of the feet on the floor. And you're just going to lie down here. Just excuse me one moment. I'm going to walk off camera and I'm going to go and get myself a couple more blankets. Because I need that comfort today. So maybe a blanket underneath your body. I'm looking around. Maybe a blanket underneath your body. And then you can have a blanket underneath your head. I should have probably given you a warning about all these blankets, right? Grab a duvet off your bed. All right, we're going to go for maximum comfort here. If you want to hug your knees in towards your belly, go for it. Kind of even out your spine. And then we're going to find ourselves in Shavasana. If you've got it underneath your head, then what you might want to do is this. You place your back of your head onto the blanket, and then you can roll the blanket maybe a couple of times. And you see the little roll that you create, place that underneath your head. You can kind of just tuck it in a little bit, and then you provide a really beautiful support for the back of your neck. Feel free to kind of bring your hands underneath the blanket. And then we'll just remain here just for, 2 or 3 minutes. Just find stillness, body's at rest. All your core conditions are being met right now. Just let everything melt into the earth. from here, just really gently, slowly. Bring the movements back into your body. Maybe start with your fingers and toes. Might give your body a bit of stretch out, kind of stretch the arms above the head. Let the form behind the head and just have a little wriggle. Maybe a big yawn comes. You can completely ignore me and stay in Shavasana if that feels good for you. Maybe that's where you need to already. Maybe bend the knees back in towards your belly. Hug your knees in. Oh, that feels good. And then just roll to one side, doesn't matter which side it is. Use your bottom hand as a pillow. If you're using a blanket, kind of bring the blanket with you. And spend a few moments just to let the body just come back to balance. And we're thinking about moving with minimum fuss. We're not trying to disturb it too much. Have the top hand, top arm, just press yourself all the way up. Do that really slowly. And then tend to just shuffle like that towards you. Just 1 second. Beautiful. All right. Really great. Let's say. Just get this. Let's go past the hot set. We've got a few technical problems with Facebook, so it's really nice to have Jackie and Pauline as well. Autumnal pictures. Together that might just wish yourself well, wish everybody else well. Namaste. Thanks, you guys. Thank you for coming today. Hopefully you got something from that. Next week we'll probably stand up. I like that kind of practice, you know, when it's like, I don't know, seated postures. We can twist, we can move the spine, we can kind of think about our energy, can feel really subtle sometimes. We can do some nice breath work. So, yeah, hopefully something for you. You do 2 or 3 minutes of yoga. I always think that's massive. I really do, because you kind of break up sometimes those little negative patterns we sometimes get into. Just moving the body, right? Get curious, and we're just, yeah, just in our uniqueness. Like, thank you. Thanks to the virtual tour. Thank you for hosting me today. Thank you for Space to Breathe. It's everyone. Yeah, so those guys letting me use the studio keys and keys and the lockbox keys. So I'll keep. Anyway, have to tell us be November. Yeah. Goodbye to everyone, by the way. And Halloween. See you later. Bye.